All right, I'm here. I'm back. Dang, got a few people in here already. All right, got about 10 people in here. Make sure y'all hit the thumbs up. Oh, Marcus Bell, what's going on, man? Yeah, Colton. There's some intro music. Colton crazy, man. There's intro music. I thought it's been intro music a few times. Not every time, but there's usually intro music playing. But not like that. I know what you mean. Uh two beats, thanks, man. What's going on, man? All right, y'all, man. Turn this sound down a little bit here. All right, y'all. Welcome back to another live stream. Back on another Friday. I'm just chilling right now, and I got another fight night tomorrow. A few different things I want to talk about. Before we get started, of course, we got a few topics to just kind of chat about today. We can have a conversation like always, and then we could just talk about whatever, within the hour. As far as WMMA goes. But man, people have been talking crazy lately. Like, am I crazy? Like, when it comes down to like the strawweight division, people are just like saying anything, man. Like, they're just saying, okay, everybody's avoiding everybody in the strawweight division. I'm like, what? Like, are people really avoiding everybody in the strawweight division? I'm like, first we complain like these other divisions aren't getting fights. Then we all say that the strawweight division is the one division where we get fights. And now all of a sudden, whenever somebody wants a title shot or somebody turns down a fight, all of a sudden we're not getting the fights we want. I'm like, what's going on, y'all? Like, are y'all that spoiled? Like, come on. There's too much complaining. See, that's the thing. Like, before we get started, I just want to put that out there. I think MMA fans, they're getting too spoiled. See, I'm a boxing fan, so I'm used to it when it comes down to fights. We haven't really been getting the fights over the past year or so like we do in MMA, but it seems like y'all in MMA right now, y'all are getting spoiled. Like, the minute somebody wants a title shot or the minute somebody says, I want a couple months off, y'all are saying, like, the strawweight division is void. And I'm talking to you, Jason Rose. Shout out to Jason Rose. That's my man. But look, y'all out here like, come on. Y'all out here like, oh, this person ain't fighting that person. They must be scared. So just because somebody wants to make the choice, why all of a sudden are we not getting the fights we want? I'm pretty excited about the direction of the strawweight division. I mean, we're still getting good fights in my opinion. You know, 2B said, who's that in the jean shorts? Oh, that's Joanna. I put that picture because it has a little something to do with what we were going to talk about. So yeah, like everybody's talking about we ain't getting the fights we want. People are ducking. I'm like, nobody's ducking. I'm going back and forth with these people over the past week or so, past few days. I'm just speaking logic, man. That's all. I'm just trying to talk some logic. Like, if somebody needs a couple of months to prepare after fighting 2 times in less than 4 months, I'm fine with that. Y'all are ready to see somebody go in there and fight after a month off or 2 months off. Y'all forgot there's still training camps in between. So that's all I'm saying. And now, Jason, you over here talking about Carla Esparza doesn't deserve a title shot. She got to fight Joanna first. How long y'all going to keep trying to put up barriers in front of her? There's so many other people that get title shots without even fighting a title eliminator. Why can't she get hers after fighting 5 fights in a row, huh? Why is everybody just like forgetting logic all of a sudden? I don't know. I mean, maybe y'all know in the comment section. I mean, people must be lighting up something good. I mean, I don't know. I'm speaking with a sober mind, so hey. Marcus Bell said, yeah. I don't know. I'm still happy with the direction of the strawweight division. Like I said, it's not like a big hold up. I mean, if anything, the only hold up is Joanna. She's the only one in there that's taking time off. Taking more than enough time off. She's been off for like over a year, right? So with her being off over a year, you can't really compare that to some other fighters saying, look, I want a title shot, or I want maybe a month or so, to get ready for a big fight. You can't really complain about that. That's my thing. But yeah, with all that out of the way, I just wanted to go back today and kind of talk about Norma Dumont with y'all. Norma Dumont, in this recent interview, she talked about her stay at featherweight and how she kind of feels like, she didn't say it in so many words, but it feels like the featherweight division is really riding on her. The featherweight division is riding on her and Felicia Spencer. No other ladies except her. And she feels like in a couple of fights that she's going to be the one to fight Amanda Nunes. She's going to be fighting Amanda Nunes. So let's talk about that a little bit. And fight night, I want y'all's picks for Montana. I'll give you my pick for Montana and Ariane Lipsky. And I already gave y'all my pick for Manon, Fiorot, and Tabitha Ricci. That fight is looking like a mismatch on paper. I mean, not on paper, but just when you look at the two, it's looking like a mismatch. Unless something crazy happens, I don't know. We got to talk about that. But yeah, Joanna on vacation. That's been something, everybody been talking about. She's done some recent interviews saying, she was training, a few days a week in the gym. Now she's about to get away for a little bit. She got a lot going on. And, with so much going on and no fight announcements, the question is, should she continue to hold down the number 2 spot? Yeah, should she continue to hold down the number 2 spot? Y'all been talking about that. I had somebody ask me about that, so I'm going to talk about it. Let's see. Cole said, do you think Joanna is too concerned with her looks that it takes away from her fighting? I've seen interviews where she makes comments about how she didn't want to spar because she didn't want to get cauliflower ear. That's a possibility. I mean, she's already talked about not wanting to fight more than once or twice a year now because, she wants to have kids one day. And, she's been talking about how she doesn't want to put her body through hell anymore and train hard anymore. So that sounds like a person that might be on the way out. They want to get one last big fight. They want to do that last cash out and, call it a day. So that might be a possibility, Colton. And yeah, she did have her enhancements done. So she's been looking at other things. That's why I'm saying, like, yeah, let's go ahead and talk about it. Because in the interview I seen, she continues to keep the UFC in her topics, because that's what people know her for. We continue to put her name next to these other fighters. But when you think about it, you got to remember she's been out of the octagon for a year and some change. Not much has really been going on or, revolving around her as far as MMA goes. I mean, she's been sparring with some of these up-and-coming fighters like K-Rock. Who else has she been working with? Karolina Kowalkiewicz, right? Back with Mike Brown. She's, like she said, she's back in the gym training several days a week. But still no fight announcement, right? So in these like casual fans' eyes, in the Joanna fans' eyes, it's like, she's a big presence. But like to the hardcore fans that's really keeping our eyes on the strawweight division, we're like, yo, how are you still number 2? Right? We're like, how are you still number 2 and you ain't fought in a year and some change? We want to see some moves like, Joanna, who you fighting? Are you fighting Mackenzie Dern? Are you fighting Marina Rodriguez? What is it? What you going to do? And her answer is, I'm going to take some time off. I've been training hard, doing this, doing that, got some business deals. Everything with the UFC name around her, even working on like a documentary. And I think, she got a book out, which is good. She's doing other stuff. But it comes a point when everything else around her is just outweighing the fighting, the fight game. What are we going to do? We're going to continue to let her hold down that spot. In my opinion, you might vacate her, just not vacate, just take her out, just take her out, vacate that spot. You want to just vacate that spot for the moment. It's still like she's trying to hold on. I mean, if she wants to do other stuff, that's fine because she's doing well with it. She's doing well outside of the UFC. So don't hold that spot up. Don't hold that spot up and say, look, let me go on vacation for a little bit now, which that year and some change off was a vacation, right? You want to do that on vacation, still do interviews and kind of tease us that you're coming back, which might be September, October, like Marina Rodriguez, teasing us with that. But in the meantime, again, no fight announcement. In the recent interview she did, she said no fight announcement. Still, not sure when it's going to happen. She's going to come back, but we're still not sure. So with a year past and, they've vacated, they made other fighters vacate their spot like Tatiana Suarez. I think Joanna should just, step out for a little bit, step out the rankings, become one of those emeritus people, like emeritus champions in boxing. When you step out, they'll keep your spot warm for you. Then when you come back, you could probably enter the rankings. You know what I mean? It's not like somebody like her is going to have to fight all the way back up, right? Like nobody's going to make her start at number 15. So if she was to come back in, make her come back in next year when she's ready to fight at like number 5 or number 6, That's how I think about it. I mean, because like, I'm being nice too, because some of y'all are going in on her, Let me look at the chat real quick. Stamina, what's up, man? Robot Chicken, what's going on? Robot Chicken said, nope, Joanna needs to be active to keep her spot. Yeah, Stamina. Yeah, what's going on, man? Like, you didn't even hear my intro, Stamina. I was just like, Stamina, I was just kind of going in the beginning, like, not really going in, but I'm just like, man, why is everybody so up in arms about the strawweight division? Stamina, I just think people are being spoiled. Like, everybody's saying everybody's ducking somebody, but nobody's really ducking. Like, we're still getting fights in a timely manner. It's like everybody wants to rush it now, 2B said, personally, rather have Joanna leave UFC than hold on a rank, considering that she ain't injured. Right? Yeah. Joanna doesn't have a leg to stand on based on the reason why she doesn't have a fight booked yet. How much vacation could fighters possibly need when a majority of them only fight twice a year? That's a good point. Like, because let's look at that too, man. Like the fact that she brought up in the interview, she hasn't fought because, I really wasn't like, I'm just addressing what I've been dealing with lately, Stamina. I'm like, I'm doing the verbal sparring lately. You know what I mean? Like, I'm down for that all the time. If people want to go, bar for bar or fact for fact, I'm always down for that. But I was just like, it was a little out of character with what so many fans are thinking. They've been like, the strawweight division is not giving us the fights we want. Like, do you agree, Stamina? Are the strawweights ducking each other? Am I missing something, Stamina? Are we not getting the fights we want, or is everybody a coward in the strawweight division? Tell me. But I almost lost my train of thought. All right, 2 Beasts. So 2 Beasts, you brought up a good point because, fighters usually only fight like maybe 4 times. Maybe four, but mostly like 2 times. And Joanna, think about it. Like, Joanna, she went under the radar. Unlike everybody else, she really went under the radar and she milked this time. Like, everybody else had to fight during the pandemic except her. Think about that. Everybody fought during the pandemic, just about. Like, all your superstars just had to fight during the pandemic. But she didn't. Now, I don't know if it was anything going on with her head, like head injury, but she went all the way from the pandemic up till now without having to fight with the crowd. Like, she said she wasn't fighting without a crowd, and she did it. Everybody else, I don't know what type of doctor note she had, like, like kids used to do in school when they had a doctor note to skip out on certain things, but Joanna did it successfully. Like, so she's had a vacation. I mean, she's been doing other stuff, but it wasn't fighting, so it was like a vacation, right? Yeah, that people didn't think about that. Like, she's one of the only fighters that went under the radar and just said, "Look, y'all fight during the pandemic. I ain't fighting without a crowd, and I mean it. I ain't coming back." She did that. She did that. Mary Thomas, what's up? The boss said Joanna might wait and hope for Esparza to become champion so she could possibly get an immediate title shot. Yeah, that's a possibility. That's a possibility too. Stamina said, "You know me, bro. I ain't with all that name calling stuff. All these fighters, even the terrible ones, have a level of courage and self-belief that I and most others do not. To hell with ducks." Yeah, thank you. Yeah. I'm the same way, man. Well, yeah, you know me. That's why I was like, first Marina's a duck. First Carla needs to fight 2 more big fights. You know, you want to put more barriers up when she's already doing what she needs to do. Oh, Mackenzie Dern can't come back because she ain't got an opponent. Really, the main problem here is just Joanna. Like, and you know that's not a problem because it's not even really like a major problem because we can just keep fighting around her. You know, Rose has an opponent. There's other opponents out there. Like, Joanna's there, but she's not really there. So if we just move her out of the picture, everything will be even better. But like, there really is no like damage done. I mean, it's almost like laughable now because she has gone without fighting during the pandemic. She stuck to it and she did it. You know what I mean? That's why I just laugh about it because I was looking at, you know, some stuff today before I started the stream and I was watching the interview with Joanna and, you know, now she's saying she's going on, you know, another little time off. You know, she did the book thing. You know, she's got a documentary coming out. So she's getting money. You know, so she's getting money. So while the other money is coming in, you know, stop trying to take these other fighters' title shots, opportunities. You know, like Joanna's saying Carla might need to fight her again before she get a title shot. And that's what other people are saying. Jason Rose, I'm calling you out again because you were in one of my videos talking about that you think Carla needs to fight Joanna for a title shot. No, she already did her job. I ain't going to break that down again, man, because it's like right in front of your face. She don't need to fight Joanna. Joanna needs to fight Zhang Weili again or step away. You know, let's just step away. That's all. Let me go to the comment section here. Mary Thomas said, "I don't know where JJ stands at this point. She's about to be a gatekeeper. I don't think she deserves this many title shots in a row. Everybody's being moderately active. I think she only fought." Yeah, that's it. Yeah, Mary, that's all she did. That's why I was saying, like, that's a major highlight that people had missed. Like, Joanna went under the radar after facing Zhang Weili back in January or February last year. During the pandemic, she said, "I'm not fighting without a crowd," and she did not fight. And they still didn't cut her, or they still didn't drop her out of the rankings. You know, and she still hasn't came back because she waiting on a title shot. And they still don't punish her for it, if you will. They won't really like chastise her for it. If that was anybody else, they would. Like Randa Marcos, somebody else in the division, they will say, "Look, we're cutting you." Of course, status-wise, there is a difference between, you know, Joanna and Randa. But, I mean, Randa's still a fighter that answers the call. So, you know, I think that's just interesting, man. Because, yeah, after that fight, man, Joanna said, "Look, I am chilling for the next 37 months." I'm just messing, man. But, yeah, she's got to step away. Like, I like watching her fight. I like her grind. But, you know, just in all fairness to the other fighters, you know, take her out of the rankings due to inactivity. I said the same thing about Manny Pacquiao when he was out for 2 years. Now he's finally coming back against Errol Spence. Take him out of the rankings. You know, take his belt. They took his belt. That's only fair. That's all. That's all, man. Now, if she comes back in August or September, I'm fine with that, you know, but it can't be a title shot, you know. And no, Carla doesn't need to fight you. She said Carla needs to fight her or Zhang Wei Li to get there and to see if she's elite. Come on. Carla's already fought 5 fights in a row. Zhang Wei Li she lost part of herself in that Rose fight. You know, no knock to her, but she honestly lost a piece of herself in that Rose fight. So she's been knocked down a peg. Joanna's been out a year and some change. She's been knocked down a peg where Carla's been developing and looking better. Case closed. Mr. Lee, what's up? Mr. Lee said no strawweight fights this weekend. Nah, man, no strawweight fights. Just flyweights. When's the next strawweight fight? I think, we got Kanako Murata and Verna Jandaroba. I want to say we got Conejo Ruiz and Amanda Lemos. I can't remember what date. Hold on. Mary Thomas said also about the last discussion we had on your channel. I just didn't have the right info at the time. I was under the impression Marina was avoiding Dern altogether on a fight camp, so she wouldn't have altogether on a full fight camp, so she wouldn't have to improve her takedown defense. Oh, okay. Yeah, she just really needed some time out just to kind of, work on her game and, put herself through recovery. Because, like I said, there might be something wrong, too, like you just want to let your body heal there. She took some big body shots in that Waterson fight. Marcus, this trainer had me working hard and sweating. Well, time to go back on vacation. 2B says, Jean got KO'd by Rose and let her over a minute. Carla got, beat. Yep. Top 15 fighters. Yep. Yeah, Dana's thinking about the money right now. BJ, what's going on, man? I was trying to read what you were saying, Mary, because we were trying to catch up on that discussion. But really, Mary Thompson, but really on a short notice fight, anybody has the right to turn down a short notice fight against somebody, especially like Dern. She basically be putting her record and career on the line. Right. Yeah, that's my point on that. Like I said, before we go back to Joanna, Marina Rodriguez is just looking out for her career, because Marina goes in there and gets twisted up like a pretzel by Dern. Everybody's going to laugh, and everybody's going to say, you are not a good fighter. You know what I mean? They're just going to put her down. And you know how it goes. Like, you damned if you do, you damned if you don't, man. Like, you can't please fans. That's why I say I'm not mad at what she's doing. Just do her. It's 2 months. I'm a boxing fan, so I got to wait damn near 8 months for a good fight. I got to wait for my favorite fighters to come back after 9-10 months. Marina Rodriguez going to make us wait 4 months at tops. Marina Rodriguez is going to make us wait 4 to 5 months tops. That's normal turnaround for a fight. Okay? That's it, The boss said, I think the UFC gives Joanna a special treatment because she is still a big draw. People still love Joanna. Her latest interview with the Schmo got a lot of views. Yeah, she's got a character. She's got a good character about her, like, annoying, but that's a part of the game. Like, I like to be annoyed by her because some of the things she says is entertaining. Nobody's perfect, but I like her style. But right now, when you start trying to, block off a fighter like Carla Esparza, I gotta draw the line. Like, of course, there gonna be a lot of Joanna fans and the simps that continue to push Joanna, but I'm gonna have to put up the line right there. I gotta say no. I gotta say Carla deserves it. Whether I would like Carla or not, I'm gonna say she deserves it. You know what I mean? Like, even when I speak on, like, Marina Rodriguez, I like Marina and her fighting. Like, I'm not like a diehard fan, so people don't get that twisted. I'm just, speaking facts, BJ says, shoot that link. I will in a little bit, man. We go I got a few things I want to get on, and then, we'll probably drop that in a bit here. Stamina said, you love Joanna, so you Oh, okay. Yeah, he gonna argue that, right? Nah, we can't argue that. Nah, she got to be dropped, bro. She got to be taken out for a while. Yeah, she got to be taken out the rankings for a while. Mary, I don't think we're gonna talk about that. I kind of refuse to talk about them two guys, Jake Paul and Fake Paul, whatever his name is. I don't really consider them fights. I consider that MTV Celebrity Death Match without the death. Y'all remember that, right? MTV Celebrity Death Match, them little claymation, that little cartoon. That's basically what these little boxing exhibitions remind me of. You know, when you got Snoop and all of them and they're clowning, you know, they high as hell doing their commentary. It's like watching that MTV Celebrity Death Match like back in the day. I didn't really know we would ever come to that. I mean, it's all in fun and games, I guess. You know, I just don't like it. I mean, I think Teron Willie's gonna get hurt though. And the boss said Carla definitely deserves it. That shouldn't be a discussion. Yeah, it shouldn't be a discussion, but people really like to, you know, Jason. I keep calling him out because he keeps arguing with me about that, and I'm like, nah, man, like, uh, no, Carla deserves it. I don't have to write a book on it. Cole said, I know, but the Paul brothers boxing is pop culture right now. You got to discuss it at least. I don't have to. I don't have to. You know, I like boxing, but you know, if there's something about it that just isn't cool, you know, or just ain't on the level, I ain't gonna talk about it. You know, I like Floyd Mayweather as a fighter, but man, is this guy wow? Like, I respect everything he does in the ring. One of the best fighters of all time. But I'm like, man, come on, you giving this clown YouTuber a chance to make millions. That's the one thing I just can't really respect about it. It's like you giving this sideshow guy like $200 to $100 million. Like, you letting him make money off your name. So I don't know. That's another story though. Back to the fight. Mary Thomas, I understand why you wouldn't. I wanted to know who you think would win. That's all. Well, if you want to know, I think Teron Willie could get hurt. Like, Teron Willie's not a boxer. You know, Teron Willie's a wrestler. He's not good with his hands at all. Teron Willie really has been losing a lot of what kill switch he's had. You know, he doesn't really have that fire to even commit to his stand up in his last few fights. So you commit to a boxer or somebody who can throw even, you know, a good right hand and has the proper boxing stance. Mary, I think that sadly, whichever Paul it is, whatever, Jake Paul, I think Jake Paul or whatever could probably hurt him. Yeah, I think he could and might do it. That's why he's picking another wrestler. You know, that's why he's picking another guy like like he did Ben Askren. You know, I didn't watch that, but I heard he got knocked out, right? He's picking guys with no hands. He's beating up on MMA guys with no hands. That's what it all comes down to. So, you know, there is a great possibility that he's going to do it. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm talking too much about it. I'm done. Let me jump back. Let's jump back to the MMA. So, yeah, Joanna, she got to go. She got to go for a little bit, you know, unless she comes back in September, October. You know, I would like to see the rankings kind of go on and, you know, push some of these other fighters ahead. Yeah, like what else? Like who else in the strawweight division? Like I'm saying, you know, we got a lot of good fighters in this division right now to make us, you know, just, I won't say to make us just overlook her, but, you know, we don't have to feel like we're missing something if she's gone, right? We really don't. All right, y'all. We got to get off that Teron Willie talk right now. We got to get off that Jake Paul talk. I don't know when that fight is happening, and I don't care. I don't have the fight date. I know the Floyd Mayweather was tomorrow or something, but that's all I want to know. Let's look at the strawweight rankings right now, because okay, Rose champion, Zhang Weili number 1, and Joanna still number 2. Carla bumped up to number 3, and Yan Zhana is number 4, Marina's 5, Mackenzie's number 6. So with the spot that Carla's at, nobody's saying she got to go through Zhang or Joanna. You ain't got to go through them anymore. Carla's in a good spot because Zhang and Joanna are basically been there and done that. Zhang has been there, Joanna's done that. That's been there and done that right there. So you got to go with the next best legit contender that's on their win streak with their improvements, and that's Carla. Okay. But let's talk Norma Dumont here. I actually just dropped a video too on this thing. Hold on. I'm gonna make sure it's up here. Hold on for a second, y'all. Y'all on here talking with me, so the video just popped up. Okay. Yeah, Norma Dumont. Got to talk about her a little bit because, we continue to talk about the featherweight division over here, and we're going to talk about it till it comes to light, or they just finally close the gate on it. Norma Dumont did this recent interview, and it was titled, let's see, well, they put the main line up here that really caught my eye. It kind of made me feel like they're putting a lot of pressure on Norma Dumont right now. It says, Norma Dumont, I must do a good job so the UFC doesn't cut the featherweight division. All right. So Norma Dumont, she said in this interview that, she did have plans, I think, going back to 140, 135 at a time, but the UFC asked her to stay at 145. We need you to stay because we need some contenders. Because if you leave, we'll probably have to close the division down. And I think that's just a crazy statement. Like, why now? Like, I read that interview and I was thinking, like, why is the featherweight division all riding on Norma Dumont when you got so many other girls that could make this weight? Like, why is it all up to her now? Like, why would you close the division if she couldn't make it? Y'all forgot about Leah Letson? Huh? Y'all forgot about Macy Chiasson? You forgot about Felicia Spencer? You just gonna close the division down when you got enough women to make a nice, solid division? So she said this. Let's see. The UFC asked me to stay in the featherweight division to shake things up, right? I would like to have more fights before I face Amanda Nunes, but I believe I'll fight Amanda with 2 more wins at featherweight. I won't have the time I wanted to mature, so we'll have to speed up the process and evolve. My thoughts on that too, man. Like, I respect her for wanting to fight a couple of more fights before she takes on the champion, but even 2 fights ain't gonna really do it for you. 2 fights is not gonna do it for you. That's why we need a division. That's why we really need just like a structured division, man, so fighters can grow. I'm really tired of them acting like, oh, they don't have enough people. That's not an answer. That's not an answer. You got girls there. The girls you got passing out during weigh-ins. You know what I mean? Girls you had win this tough house. Come on. Like, there's fighters there. So she's not really needed to shake it up. I mean, they could shake it up just by making it. Let's see. And that statement there too, like, she feels like, she needs a few more fights before she gets to Nunes. I'm like, see, if they had like a division like 3 years ago, you would have legit contenders for that. We really wouldn't have to be reaching out and grasping for straws here to try to make something happen. Let me check the chat here real quick. BJ said Norma coming through for featherweights. Norma could be that division need. She has skills and looks, and her fights are exciting. It's up to Norma. Can't all be up to her though, man. That's my point. Like, there's so many other fighters they need to put in there. Like, she's feeling the pressure. Like, they're going to rush her. Like she said, now she got to speed up. Colton said, can people acknowledge how much the UFC screwed over Felicia Spencer, though? She's a decent fighter that was growing, and they threw her in there with... Yeah, I talked about that before, man. Yeah, I talked about that. Like, they threw her in there with 10 rounds combined of 2 hard fights. You know, Chris Cyborg and Amanda. That was killer, man. Jason Rose, what's going on? There you go. Jason's in here. Just popping in and say, hey, what's going on, man? And that's what we thought Felicia was going to do, but Felicia looked like she may have lost a step. Yeah, Felicia took 2 hard fights. She took 2 hard beatings, man. You know, took 2 hard beatings that may have taken a little bit of the killer out of her, you know? No, she wasn't ready for Cyborg. She wasn't. There's no way she was ready for Cyborg. Oh, no. TJ, what's up? TJ said, I didn't think Felicia was going to do it, and I don't think Norma will either. No, she ain't. No, she's not. I didn't think Felicia was going to do it either. You know, there's levels to this game, you know? There's levels to it. I mean, they're in the same division, and just because Felicia Spencer is number 1 contender doesn't mean she got the skills to beat her. I mean, we see that against the flyweights, right? You know, just because so-and-so got this number 1 spot don't mean they're really, really going to be a threat to the champion. It's just like there's too much gap between there's just too much gap between these fighters, you know, as for when it comes to skills. Like, there's Valentina, then there's Caitlin Chikagian, and then there's just this big wide space in between these 2 fighters, you know, as far as how close they are, you know. The Cyborg fight was only 3 rounds. Oh, yeah. Yeah, it wasn't the title fight. That's right. Either way, yeah. She went, man, she went war. Jason Rose said, BJ said that the UFC is signing Pan, man. He said maybe. It's a possibility, you know, because I heard the same thing. You know, that's some news. I'm not even gonna put that out there myself, because I don't know, but you know, it was just news on her part that she put up. So I don't want to get anybody's hopes up that they kind of build it, you know. So, and I don't want to put her news out there like that. So yeah, just like he said, maybe, you know, it's not a definite. He didn't say it was a definite. Yeah, definitely it's a theory at this point. At this point, TJ said Megan froze like a deer in the headlights. She did. I mean, DC said it. I mean, DC was like, when I was watching it again, you know, DC was like, she's standing still. It was like one of the quotes you could just really hear. Like, it was not funny, but yeah, funny, but you know how he said it, because he was like, oh, she's standing still. Because, you know, whenever Nunes hit her with that right, she backed into the fence. And then, like, she froze up. And Nunes caught her with a double jab. And, you know, DC was like, oh, she's standing still. That was, like, one of the main things I remember about it. Because, you know, there was no audience there. And, you know, you just listening to them talking. And, like, DC was surprised. He was just like, oh, she's standing still. Mary Thomas said, you're right. She didn't so much freeze up as she did pop her eyes and skid her backwards. I respect her going in there in the face, but it was painfully obvious she wasn't ready for that. Yeah, I respect her for taking the fight. I mean, you know, going in there with Nunes. But, man, I hated to see the fight be that easy. You know what I mean? I was hoping there was some type of level. So, Norma Dumont, though, I'm glad that she's at a weight where her body feels comfortable, though. You know, I'm glad that she is going to stay here at 145. I just, you know, think it's hard for them to put all the weight on her and Felicia just to say, you know, we're going to close the division unless you stay. You know, you can't do that. I mean, Norma Dumont brought up some good names in this interview. You know, she brought up some good names. Look, Norma said, I would really, let me pull this thing up here. Okay. All right. Here we go. All right. So Norma said the UFC requested that they won't close the division. If I go down, they probably will close it because there'll be no one left as potential contenders for the belt. Yeah, right. They're all fighters. You know, they just don't want to make a move up. Based on our conversation with the UFC, they will probably bring someone from bantamweight to fight me. So that's a good thing. You know, they will bring up some of these girls that need to be at featherweight. That's a good thing. Maybe they'll follow suit and keep doing that. She brought up some names. Yeah, I would like to fight Miesha Tate, who's coming back. I know BJ would like that fight. Miesha Tate versus Norma Dumont. You know. So she said, I'd like to fight Miesha Tate. I would like to fight Sarah McMahon. Sarah McMahon got some muscle on her, so she could make 145. You know, she's a good sized woman. Rocky Pennington, I don't know so much. You know, she could do that. GDR, oh yeah, that's a good one. You know, GDR needs to be at 145. Holly Holm can make 145. You know, those are all good names. She said, but I think the UFC might bring bigger athletes like Julia Stoyarenko, who fainted during the weigh-ins and have a hard time cutting weight, which that makes sense. You know, Julia Stoyarenko needs to be at 145. I think, you know, her fainting like that, you know, shouldn't even happen. That shouldn't even been something that went down. And like she said, yeah, she just feels healthier at the weight. So just bring up some girls, man. Just bring up some girls. I think at this point too, like, depending on what Miesha Tate looks like at 145, at 135 against Marion Renault, and what she looks like at the weigh-in, I think she could make 145 easy. You know, she's getting to that age range where that's where she would probably need to be. So out of those names, I would say, yeah, Miesha Tate at 145 might be interesting. Sarah McMahon and really GDR. You know, I think GDR, that's a good name to be at featherweight. And none other than Macy Chiasson. Let's not avoid that. Like, Macy Chiasson is the beast that is never really becoming the beast that she needs to be, in my opinion. Like, Macy, when she hit the scene, like, when I'm watching talent, man, like, when I saw her hit the scene in the Tough House and I went back and just looked at that one fight she had before she got in there, I was like, you know, Macy's a raw talent. Like, Macy has a lot of skill, like, and a lot of natural ability. Macy Chiasson got a lot of ability, and I just think that her being at 135 kind of holds it back. You know, Macy Chiasson, when she was at 145 in the Tough House and the way she was just, you know, coming through destroying, you know, I thought that she was going to be the next fighter to grow. I thought she was going to be the next fighter to grow there, you know. But they've been making her squeeze down to 135, and, you know, she's just been kind of riding with the weight. She just been kind of riding with it. You know, my opinion, I was like, yo, you need to tell them now, y'all can't kill me at this weight. So I was like, yo, Macy, you know, stop trying to make the weight. You know, do like these other girls. Just say, look, hey, I can't make it. You know, pretend to pass out. You know what I mean? Just so you can get back up to 145. Maybe that way they would try to, you know, make it logical and make some sense of it now and say, okay, now we need the featherweight division. Too many girls are passing out now. You know what I mean? Because, yeah, Macy looked good at 135 against Gina Mazzani. You know, she just had the size and the power. And she looked good against Sarah Morris. You know, come on. But when she stepped in there with a veteran like Lena Landsberg, I think it was a mixture of Lena Landsberg's skills, but it was also the fact that Macy Chiasson was looking flat. I think it was the weight. I think it was the weight. So last time Macy Chiasson fought at 145 was almost 3 years ago. Damn. That's what I'm saying. Like, she was in there, you know, destroying, man. She went in there, she took down Panty Kanzan, and choked her out. She stopped Leah Ledson. She stopped Larissa Pacheco. And y'all see what Larissa Pacheco was doing now, right? Larissa Pacheco. So, she's got some names, early on. Girl, power in both hands. She had size in this fight with Marion Renault. She was developing a left hook in that fight. This girl need to be at 145. The fight I want to see, I saw y'all talking about Megan Anderson versus GDR. I wanted to see Macy versus Megan Anderson. Like, Macy Chiasson said she would have taken that fight with Megan Anderson. Like, I don't know how short like that was coming to life, but I still want to see Macy Chiasson and Megan Anderson fight. I mean, come on, like, looking at Macy Chiasson right now, she had more business being at 155 than at 135. Macy is a fighter that needs to be a lightweight or a featherweight. All right, so there's a lot of fighters out here for Norma Dumont to fight. Ain't no digging. It's right in front of their faces, man. Let me go back to the chat here. What y'all talking about? If Cat can grow into 145, Misha can't. Yeah, I definitely. Like, if you look at Cat's body, you look at Misha Tate's body, like, they both have, like, them fitness models' body. Like, those fitness models, like, they're not necessarily, like, female bodybuilders, but they got that, muscle. They got their broad shoulders, and, they can hold that type of weight. Yeah, she could definitely be 145. Like, Misha's not a small girl. Stamina said Pennington was considering 145 when she was ill and having weight management. She's been quiet on it recently. Tate was talking about a 145 return, but she got offered Renault. Yeah, that's why I said if she get past Renault, I think she should try to play with that idea going to 145. Yeah, BJ. Man, that Macy Chiasson fight versus Leah Ledson, man. That's what I was saying. Like, she was hitting the scene. Can Cat grow into 145? What evidence do we have? I mean, look at her. I mean, yeah. I mean, look at Cat. Cat can grow into 145. I mean, the girl, like I said, she's like muscular. Like, she's thick. She's a thick girl. Like, look at her shoulders. Look at her midsection. Look at her lower half. That girl is thick. Like, Cat has, weight to her. Like, I think after, and look at how old is she too? The older women get like this, they don't need to be shedding that type of body weight. And at the age Cat Zingano is at right now, she can make 145. Cat's 38 years old. There ain't no need for her to squeeze down a bantamweight no more. Cat's 38 years old, so yeah, she can make 145. Look at her build. Look at her muscles. Let me put up a picture of her real quick. Put up this Bellator 245 picture of Cat. Cat can't make 145. Hold on, you're talking about. Stammer said Chiasson chooses to fight at bantamweight so she can in theory fight more girls. UFC didn't insist. They seldom do. They actually stammered that they kind of did. Because I seen a couple interviews where they asked her about it. And she was like, well, they want me to fight at 135. So I told them I'll fight at either one. Like, I do get that she wants to fight more girls too. Like, that is in theory a way out. But when I heard her say that, I was like, that shouldn't have been the answer she gave Stamina. Like, to me, she should have just been like, y'all need to make this 145 so I can continue to grow and be healthy, But they insisted. Because, at the time, the purpose of that Tough House was to find a challenger for Chris Cyborg. They were trying to find that Chris Cyborg challenger, but you know how that went with Chris Cyborg. So they kind of just abandoned it. And she said they wanted her to fight at 135. She started becoming a fill-in. And she said, well, I could do either one, but, this is where they want me. That was her thing. So I mean, works out for her pockets, but it's not good for her health. Her health, you know. Hold on here. Let me see. Cat Zingano. That looks like a healthy weight on her, you know. And it don't look like she blew up either. Like, it don't look like a fighter that said, I'm too sloppy and lazy to make bantamweight. You know what I mean? It looks like a good weight on her. Look at her. See? I do agree with that. Like, Cat Zingano, see her muscle and her physique there? It definitely looks like the weight she needs to be at now at 38 years old. You know, I mean, you can tell when a fighter just looks like they didn't make weight because they didn't feel like it, or they just didn't, take the right, they didn't take the right plan and right diet. Looks fine to me, as far as being at featherweight. I got Aspen Lab beating Macy Chase on. Robot Chicken said he got Aspen Lab beating Macy Chase. No, I got Macy Chase on in that fight. Macy just got to put them hands to work early. Extend punches early. Okay, I got to go all the way back up here. Hold on, y'all. Jason Rose said, why haven't the UFC signed Tanisha Tennant and Chelsea Chandler, in your opinion? I think for Tanisha Tennant, it's down to, I think for Tanisha Tennant, it has to do with their marketing and how they market. Like, they're looking at race. It's a race thing with Tanisha Tennant, I think. Like, I think for Tanisha Tennant, they don't understand talent, and it is kind of a race. I ain't gonna say kind of, it is a race thing. Like, it's one of those situations where they want to appeal to the masses of the UFC fans. Why you think they blew their chance with having a featherweight and a bantamweight, a promising featherweight and a promising bantamweight, and Danielle Wolf? And I'm putting up quotations right now. Think about it, Jason. If they knew what they had and they really wanted to push Tanisha Tennant, they would have said, we're going to put Danielle Wolf in her own featherweight fight, and we'll put Tanisha Tennant in her own bantamweight fight, right? If you would have let them two fight separately, you could have made some money off of both of them. You could have said, okay, I got a great growing fighter in Tanisha Tennant, and I got a looker that I feel like is going to bring in the masses that we want for the UFC, right? But instead, they put Danielle, they want to feed Tanisha Tennant to Danielle Wolf because they're not even respecting her resume right now. Tanisha Tennant is the fighter that won the bantamweight series in Invicta, right? She won the series, right? But they don't see her as the marketing fighter. You know why? Because they feel like, hey, she's a young black woman. She's not what the UFC is looking for as far as marketing looks. They want to go with Danielle Wolf. That's how I feel about Tanisha Tennant's part. For Chelsea Chandler, they are just missing out on talent here. Like, Chelsea, I like Chelsea Chandler. The vibe I get from Chelsea Chandler is that I think the thing I like about her is she's raw. Like, I talk to her all the time. I like Chelsea. She's real. And I think it's a marketing thing. They want fighters that will fall in the line. Chelsea Chandler, she's just raw and straightforward. She's real. She's real like that. That's why I don't think they signed her. And to me, Chelsea Chandler, she has a lot of talent, and she could beat some of these girls they got featherweight. Hell, she could beat Kayla Harrison, in my opinion. That's why I was like, I wanted to see that fight, but they didn't make it. So I think it's a marketing thing. Yeah, with Tanisha Tennant, I think it is a race thing where they didn't see her as being marketable, because if they did, they wouldn't have put her in there with Danielle Wolf. They would have gave her the respect as being the better fighter and not make her move up in weight. Follow me? And Chelsea Chandler, I think she raw. You know what I mean? She just raw like that. She raw. Raw but real, I hope that explained it. Oh boy, BJ said Tenet is average. You weren't impressed. Okay. See, people look for. Everybody's looking for power all the time. You know, people are always looking for power. Like, they look for power and they look for the physical things. Like, people say Andre Ward in boxing, he's average. He retired undefeated. There's something special about those type of fighters because I'm looking at the smarts. Like, Tanisha Tennant is not average. Like, she's doing things that you can see with her mind. Like, she's controlling these fighters and she's doing her with IQ. She fights with the IQ first, you know? That's why it doesn't look impressive. Okay, BJ said if it was a race thing, they would have signed Brianna Van Buren. They did sign Brianna. What? If it was race? They wouldn't have signed Brianna Van Buren? It depends on the situation. It depends on the situation, though, BJ. Like, Brianna Van Buren, they probably needed her for a fight. You know, you know that Tisha Torres was on a 4-fight losing streak, right? So they need somebody to come in there that would give her a bit of a challenge, but give her a win, right? You got to look at the game, man. And you got to look at the certain type of situation. But Tanisha being average, nah, man. Like, TJ said Tanisha's average, but go on. Yeah, Tanisha is not average, man. Like, Tanisha's a smart fighter. All right, TJC, man. TJ, you just don't understand. Like, Tanisha's a smart fighter. Well, first off, she fought out of her comfort zone too, BJ. You know, they made her move up in weight. You know, and again, that should have been a situation where maybe she shouldn't have taken the fight, but they made her move up to featherweight. She's not a featherweight. She's a bantamweight. Mary, that's Brianna Van Buren. What I said, I feel like makes sense because I'm looking at the marketing too. Because they wouldn't have put Danielle Wolf, they wouldn't have put Tanisha Tennant, they wouldn't have put Tanisha Tennant in there with Danielle Wolf if they respected her. They would have said, look, we're going to go ahead and sign this girl. She got a lot to stand on. You see, BJ, you may call her average, but she won the bantamweight tournament. So why is she not getting signed? You know, Miranda Maverick, she won it. She got signed, right? So why is Tanisha Tennant not getting signed? It can't be average. You signing premature fighters every day. Look, Tabitha Ricci, she's getting a UFC contract now to face a bigger, stronger, dangerous fighter. So everything you're saying right there, it defies logic. It defies logic there, BJ. You know the UFC signs below average fighters every day. And Tanisha Tennant is above average. She was undefeated. She had just won the tournament. They sign fighters that win the tournament all the time. So why is she not signed? I won't say that robot chicken, but I'll say she's marketable. You know, it comes down to I'd say she's more marketable. That's what it is. She's got to look in the marketability there. People don't want to think in color, but come on, that's what it's about in this world. You know that. Why you think same thing with Hollywood? You got to have a certain look. Same thing goes in the UFC. You got to have a certain marketing look. You know. Okay, the same argument for Pam Bam. Well, for Pam Bam, she was a threat to some. They seen her as a threat, I think, to some of their fighters. You know, it's a different situation. There's a different situation for all of their fighters. Like I said with Chelsea Chandler, I gave you my reason on why they haven't signed her. You know, they still rarely put Chelsea on some of these Invicta cards. You know, it's about marketability. It's still about their marketability. I mean, that sucks, but because I would sign them anyway, because I'm looking at the talent. You know, I would have signed Chelsea. I would have signed Tanisha. I'd sign Pam Bam just like that, because that's what I'm looking at. But I know what these casual fans and these simps are going to go for. You know, that's what I'm telling you now, that there's a certain reason they don't sign Pam Bam, okay? There's a certain reason why, but they need to. I mean, I keyed in on the reason why Tanisha, and I know that because we deal with that stuff all the time, you know. I deal with that type of stuff all the time. So I know that. Been around too long to lie, man. Or make up stuff. That's how I see with that. That's why I'm just being honest. I mean, Jason, you asked my opinion. That's what I think. That's why they haven't signed him. That's the most logical thing. They say it's Simp City with Danielle Wolf. You know what I mean? You get her. It's Simp City. We're not going to sign Tanisha Tennant because she's not going to appeal to our fighters. You know, she's not going to appeal to that. You know, every now and then you got to squeeze somebody in, right? Just so it don't make you look bad. But yeah. Going back to what we were talking about, the featherweight division though, with Norma Dumont though. I just really hope they can get some more girls in there, man. Like, just don't put the weight on her. Like, you know, they're putting a lot of miles on Felicia Spencer. I know Felicia was out for a year, but you know, she came back, lost. I just want to see them grow, man. I want to see them have like a ranking system where they can grow. You know. BJ sounds spot on with Wolf though. I mean, the answer's right there with Tanisha and Wolf. Why you think they did? Why you think they want to sign an 0-0 fighter over Tanisha Tennant? Explain that, BJ. Tell me. Why would you sign a 0-0 fighter over Tanisha? So that's spot on with both fighters, I believe. I'm being spot on. Because Wolf is 0-0. The UFC never signed an 0-0 fighter before. They're signing a 1-0 fighter now, right? Why is Tanisha not getting signed? It's logic, man. They're not signing Tanisha. She's got more accomplishments on their belt. But why? I know why. Okay. What's going on tonight, though? Not tonight. Yeah, we got some fights tonight. I think 9 o'clock, LFA 107 is coming on. I got to watch that. And let's jump to this last topic real quick, man. What do y'all think, man? Like, what do y'all think about this this flyweight fight between Manon Fiorot and Tabitha Ricci? What do y'all think about that? Right. Jason Rose. That's what I'm talking about with Chelsea. She's close to the Diaz brothers, and she don't give a F. Right? Like, I talked to her, man, and I like her, man. Like, you know, I talked to her behind the scenes, and you know, like I said, when I talk to her behind the scenes, and some of the stuff that she say is real. It's funny because it's real. Like, you know, whenever she says something, when I ask her something, you know, she's straight up about it. You know, I mean, I did an interview with her. You know, I've talked with her there. You know, talk with her in the interview. You know, I talked with her on, you know, Instagram. You know, we talk behind the scenes. Yeah, that's one of the things, man. She raw with it and real. But yeah, Manon Fiorot versus Tabitha Ricci. Like I said, I had to drop like a full prediction for it, man, because I went and looked, and I was sitting, you know, I was just sitting down the other night, you know, when work, and I was looking at the stats, and I already knew that she was a bigger fighter, but when I just actually looked at the stats, I was like, wow, like there is a big difference here. Not just like the size, but everything. You know, I looked at the height. You know, Manon Fiorot stands in there at, you know, 5'7", And Tabitha Ricci, she's a straw weight moving up. 5'1". I mean, that's a 6-inch height advantage for Manon Fiorot, plus a 4-inch reach advantage. And also just a finishing ratio. Think about that too. Like, Manon Fiorot finishes a lot of girls on the feet. She's 6-0. No, she's 6-1 with 5 finishes, right? And she's stopping bigger girls. She's stopping bigger girls. So the more and more I was looking at all that, I was like, that's going to be a big factor. Well, Mr. Lee, they had her listed at 5'1", 5'1", 5'2", around around that area. She's still giving up a lot of height. Yeah. So matching all that up, and then just like I said, looking at the highest weight that Manon Fiorot's fought at, at like 138, first fight. I was like, this is gonna be a bit of a problem. It's gonna be a bit of a problem for Tabitha Ricci. I like Tabitha Ricci too because I talked about her on this channel before, and I like the growth she was doing. She was going through. I like what she was doing with her striking. I didn't expect them to sign her though like this. I didn't expect her to answer a call this fast, man, because there still was a lot of work I needed to see. Like, she just fought. I forget. I said it on a video, but I forget sometimes. Hold on. Shauna Ormsby in LFA 105. I know that, but I can't remember the date. Hold on. She fought Shauna Ormsby. I want to say April, or was it May? Yeah, April. So she just fought, like, about a month. Can we say that's about a month and a half ago at 115 at LFA? And, that's a different story. That's big difference. LFA strawweight is different than a UFC level flyweight, even if she is unranked, because again, Manon Fiorot looked like a bantamweight. So I think it's going to be some problems in here for Tabitha Ricci. But like I said, Tabitha Ricci, her being a black belt BJJ, main key got to be ground. It's got to be to the ground. But how does she get it to the ground? Answer me that. Like, if y'all have been seeing Tabitha Ricci, can she get it to the ground against a bigger, taller, stronger fighter? I like what she's been doing. Like, she's been putting her hands together. Like, she's definitely looked better with her hands, but it's still her jiu-jitsu is her main go-to. Her judo and her ground game and her grappling, that's her main go-to. But I really have trouble seeing her taking down Manon Fiorot. Like, how big is Manon Fiorot going to be on fight night? How big y'all think she's going to be on fight night? Oh, yeah, Cole. We'll talk about Montana and Lipsky too, man. We'll talk about that fight. We're going to talk about that fight next. Thamaj said Manon should be able to whoop Tabitha. She looked drained during the weigh-in, though. Oh, yeah, I saw that. I ain't going to lie. I kind of noticed that. I noticed that, too, but I didn't really think it was going to be a factor. But she did look a little bit drained. Like, where Tabitha looked more so, filled in and looked a little bit solid. Manon Fiorot looked a little bit drained. And I think when I saw that, I ain't gonna lie, Manon Fiorot might have to go to 135 at some point, right? Let's be honest. Matter of fact, let me pull up the picture here. I got it, right? I think I had it up here. Hold on. Yeah, here it is. There it goes. Just click and drag it. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I think Tabitha fought it. Like, somebody told me this. Somebody in the chat, not in the chat, but somebody told me this in the comment section. They said Tabitha Ricci fought as high as like 120. Okay, so 120. Okay, all right, but her career, is still known as be a strawweight, and I'm not gonna lie though, like 125 looks good on Tabitha Ricci. She looks solid. Montefiore on this end looks arms look a little bit smaller, and she do look a little bit weight drained. Yeah, I can kind of see that. Um, I don't know if that's gonna affect her performance though, because she did make weight against Victoria Leonardo, and she destroyed Victoria Leonardo. So I don't know. Yeah, yeah. So yeah, she won't look as drained or sickly because um, she's filling in. She's filling in, and that's closer to a walk around weight for somebody her size. But yeah, Manon, I don't know though. Manon, like maybe it was just a quick weight cut, but hopefully, hopefully in the future, it won't be a problem because if she does start to have trouble making weight and affects her performances, we won't see her at 125 like we wanted. She might be going up to 135. I mean, 135 is what she does look like. I mean, broad shoulders, 5'7". She's good size, so I don't see her being a fighter that could not have trouble. Or, eventually going to 135. Sorry. Yeah. But I think it's going to be a tough fight when we get on the inside. Whew, it's going to be a little bit closer, but I still think that Montefiore has got the strength. I got to go with Montefiore by, what I say, TK, second round TKO in this fight. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. Well, that's what I already said. I already put it up. Let me go back to the chat here. Y'all been chatting a little bit, so let me talk to y'all. Yeah, BJ said she looked bad today. Yeah. Marcus and I got talking about Moreau's cancellations. 3 fights are Araujo, Santos, and Manon. And notice they're all some dangerous fights too, man. Like Marina Moreau pulled out of the Araujo fight, Santos, and Fiorot fight. Those are dangerous fights. They all are dangerous fights. So I don't know, Jason. Do y'all see a pattern there? What do y'all think? If she pulled out of those 3 major fights, do you see a pattern? Maybe. No filter because Tabitha isn't cutting that much weight. Yeah. 124.5. She can't even get to 125, and that's going to be a problem. Joe Jua fought at 145, but was it like a good 145? Was it like she needed to be at 145, or was it just like a little bit excess weight? You know what I mean? Like Joe Jua, she looked like she could just be at 135 to me. Like if she goes any bigger than that, I think it would be just, too much weight for her. From her height and her size, like 145 would be too big for Joe Jua. She need to be at 135. Like 125 is good, but she don't need to be at that high weight. Mary Thomas said, where was it? You asked me something. When everything's done, can we go back to Carla and Rose? I kind of have some stuff to really break down. Yeah, we can go back to that. I'm about done with this topic here. No. I got to cover Ariane and Montana. Yeah, we'll talk about that first. Then we'll go back to Carla and Rose. If you want to hang on, Mary. If you can hang through. Yeah, so I'm going with Montefiore. I'm going with Montefiore by second round stoppage. No knock to Tabitha Ricci. I like what Tabitha Ricci's doing as far as growing as a fighter, but she's stepping out of her weight class, and she's taking on a big fighter. Like I said, I like what I saw in her last fight. I just didn't know it was going to be that quick of a jump to the UFC. She's a solid. She's solid with her jiu-jitsu, man. But I just got to go with Montefiore because, like I said, I think she's got something. She's got something going for her. Yeah, Montana versus Lipsky. Let's talk about this fight here. I tell you one thing about about Montana and Ariane Lipsky. The only thing I can really predict is that there will be blood in the first round. I think that blood will be spilled in the first round in this Montana versus Ariane fight for sure. Oh, Robert Henry, what's going on? He said, okay, he about to knock down that Mickey D's and then he gonna put a new show up. Okay, we're gonna check it out, man. You make sure y'all check that out. We're gonna check that out. Get that quarter pounder in. But yeah, Montana versus Ariane Lipsky. Let's talk, y'all. Montana versus Ariane Lipsky. This gonna be a good fight for the level it's on. I see some explosion here. I like the fact that Montana. I will say this: like, we talk about her, criticize her hard, and that's how I do too. I got criticizing more so than critiquing more so than criticizing. Sorry. I think Montana has some good tools in this fight, but she's got to step out of the box. Like, she got to commit to some stuff. Like, she's got a good right hand. Her heart is bigger than her IQ, which is a dangerous thing. That's the one thing I do like about her. She's got guts. Like, she'll fight through blood, and she fights hard. You can't really stop Montana. She's a very dangerous fighter in that aspect. But like I said, what she lacks IQ, she really makes up for in heart. And going into this fight here, I think this is going to be something that, Ariane Lipsky's never really faced before, if you will. Somebody that's just going to be relentless. And Ariane Lipsky, to me, still, I don't know, she looks like a strawweight to me. Like, I don't know if that's y'all, but Ariane Lipsky looks like a strawweight. Like, when I see her, I think the size is going to be a big factor in this fight. And I think Ariane Lipsky going to have to be able to keep somebody like Montana at bay, with good straight punches. And I want to see if she can be able to do that. I want to see if she can get the respect of her. I want to see if she can do it like Andrea Lee was able to do in, a few of her fights. Not a few of her fights, but like Andrea Lee did in the main fight with Montana De La Rosa. Montana De La Rosa and Andrea Lee. Andrea Lee had success with her jab, and she was able to really pop Montana De La Rosa up. So I think that's the same approach that somebody like Ariane Lipsky gonna have to do in this fight. Ariane Lipsky, 5'6", 67-inch reach, making 125. But to me, her frame's still like a straw weight. And we matched that up with Montana De La Rosa, who, when she comes in there, look wide. She's 5'7" with a 68-inch reach advantage. Still don't really use that full extension, but she definitely uses her size. Montana is a lot of woman in there. You know what I mean? Like, she's one of the big flyweights in there. Up there with Manon Fiorot. Manon Fiorot's 5'7", and I think that Montana is going to have the size advantage, the power advantage in this fight. Ariane Lipsky is going to have the speed advantage. So if you got the hands and you got the speed, do not go into the clinch. Avoid the ground at all costs. I think Ariane Lipsky kind of showed the next level of hands when she fought Antonina Shevchenko. For the moment, she was in there. There was a fight I watched a while back with her. It was like a year or two ago. I think it was right after she fought, what's her name? Molly McCann. She lost to Molly McCann, but there was a fight she fought after that. She looked pretty good with her hands. She looked decent to me. It was always her ground game that was a bit of a weakness. JoJo, she kind of exposed that too a while back. JoJo Calderwood had success with her. She was able to maul her and handle her. JoJo's not a small flyweight either. JoJo's like 5'6", 5'7". So I think the main thing in here Montana's going to need to do is take this fight to the inside. She can fight it at a mid-range, as long as she has her full, as long as she gets full extension on her punches. I think Montana De La Rosa in the mid-range could really do some damage. If Ariane Lipsky wants to stand with her, it's gonna come down to timing for Montana. You got to time her punches. I think Ariane Lipsky gonna be a little bit faster, but Ariane Lipsky, you gotta you gotta go for those weaknesses. The nose is there. It's there to be hit. Same way Miranda Maverick did to Liana Jojua, right, BJ? Miranda Maverick just sliced Liana Jojua's nose with good strikes. And I think that Ariane Lipsky could have that same success if she extends her full punches. Like Andrea Lee, you got to touch her and move. This can't be a fight where she goes inside. Like I said, too small. It's too small to handle somebody that with that size like Montana. Montana just gotta learn how to commit to her punches too. She got to commit. Got to commit. Let me go to the chat here real quick. Montana's gonna maul Lipsky. Ariane's ground game really isn't there besides crazy knee bars and training with Mara Barella, who got dominated by Montana. Yeah. Montana and Lipsky are at two different ends of the flyweight spectrum. Yeah, they are. Like when you look at size, they don't respect you like G-Rob does anyway. You should ditch it. Man, TJ said. Not TJ Stamina. TJ, boy. I almost mix you. I was just thinking about TJ because I tell TJ usually talk stamina speaking facts. Yeah, G-Rob is always cool, man. That's G-Rob is always cool. Montana better take some pointers from BJ here. When BJ put these pointers out, Montana better take them pointers. Brazil has no wrestling has to be one of the dumbest statements ever related to martial arts. Andrade, Luque, Ibas, Nunes, Maya, whoever said that needs to be slapped. Who said that? Stamina said but. Oh, he said but he ain't go on. Okay. Anyways, yeah, Stamina, I got you. Yeah, Jason Rose is driving it as far as a hate train. He is, man. Somebody derail that train. Jason Rose, Montana De La Rosa will take down Lipsky whenever she wants to. Lipsky is introduced to that good old American wrestling. Yeah. So, yeah. My pick for this fight, like I said, I predict there to be some blood in the first round, but my actual pick of who's going to win the fight, I'm going to go with Montana De La Rosa. I'm going to go with Montana by second round stoppage or second round TKO. Yeah. I think as long as Montana doesn't try to make this like a striking match and try to overstrike, try to stand with Ariane Lipsky, she can't stand with her for periods of time. She has to be able to use the striking to get Ariane Lipsky down. Like, don't be trying to box in there. You're not really built for that yet. But I think Montana has to go in there, land big punches, and then get Ariane down. She needs to go in early for clinches and work on the inside, make it dirty. So I'm going to go with Montana. I think she has the size advantage and the power in this one and has the better ground game. And I think her, like I said, I just think her attack and her relentlessness is going to be too much in this fight for Ariane Lipsky, So, yeah, I'm looking forward to this one. I think it's going to just be a good action-packed fight. So, yeah, that's my pick. I'm going to go Montana by second round TKO or submission. All right. So that was my topics though, but going back to, I think Mary Thomas said something about Carla and Rose. Yeah, Carla and Rose, like what is it about Carla and Rose you wanted to talk about, like as far as making the fight, Mary? So we'll talk about that now. Mary asked about Carla and Rose. Let me see. Look at my chat here on the phone. Okay. Yeah, what is it about the what about Carla and Rose did you want to talk about? I'm just I was waiting on Mary because she said she wanted. I don't know if she had a question about Rose and Carla, something to break down. Whenever she's ready. Okay. I'm just waiting. Y'all talking about this other fighter. Who are y'all talking about? Burns? Stop talking about Burns and talk about Carla and Rose. Mary said something about Carla and Rose. That's what I wanted to talk about. That's why I'm saving this last part. Yeah, man. Yeah, Tabitha Ricci. Yeah, she. Let me see. Yeah, man, I don't look like she needed to lose a little. I mean, look like she did hit a pretty hard weight cut there. Let me get rid of that one. Oh, hold on. There he goes. Okay, there we go. Okay. Oh, okay, you're behind. Okay, let's see. Mary Thomas says she wanted a link. Okay. Hang on one second. I have to pull up StreamYard here real quick so I can send a link through. Hold on one second. Okay. Hang on, y'all. I'm not gone. I'm right here. Uh-oh. Okay. All right, she says she could type for right now. Okay. What is it? You were Yeah, I'll just wait on what you were typing and we can talk about it. So I know BJ. I know who you got, BJ. You got Macedo. Macedo's literally all kicks. Gordon, what's up? Gordon said, do you think it might psych Rose out if Carla enters the cage with a shaved head? It's stupid. Gordon said, do you think it might psych Carla out if Carla enters the ring? What? What, man? Oh, man. Gordon crazy, man. I can't help it. That was kind of funny, though. I'm just picturing, Carla with the shaved head, so. Shave it all off on fight night. Gordon. I don't know, man. Mary Thomas. Okay. Mary Thomas said, hold on. This chat been kind of running a little bit slow. I think it might be fine on y'all's end, but felt like it was running slow on my end here. All right. Okay, let me go back to it. Mary Thompson. Okay. I want to talk about how close Carla is to beating this version of Rose. I think Rose. Dang, man. See, he distracted me with that head thing, man. I keep thinking about Carla's head now. Dang. Hold on. Let me start over. All right. Mary Thomas said, I wanted to talk about how close Carla is to beating this version of Rose. I think Carla's very strong and relentless, and Rose shows to struggle with relentless fighters like Andrade. Yeah, that's a good point. That's the point I've been making um, about her approach to this fight, Mary. I think that Rose still has problems with fighters that that do come straight in and put that pressure on her. Like even if they don't come straight in, if they have some type of like physical strength, if they're real strong in the core, like Jessica Andrade was, um, I'm not gonna lie. Even Tisha Torres, like I said, I feel like Tisha Torres won both fights against Rose. Tisha had good moments. Tisha got caught with some shots on the way in, but I think that Tisha Torres was one of those fighters that showed that physical strength, and I think that is still her weakness. Maybe that's something that Rose is working on now, since they've seen it in the past. But being drawn into like dog matches and being drawn into like a dog fight and a fight in the phone booth does really it gets to Rose. It'll get to her till you can kind of break her down. And I think this version of Carla right now is a bit dangerous. She's really been working on her striking. And no, she's not trying to perfect her striking to go head up with Rose, punch for punch. No, she's not trying to do that. She's just trying to develop her striking enough to land big punches and get Rose to the ground, right? That makes sense, right? I think that she's been really developing her right hand, and the way her body is built, she's kind of developing her power punches. So when she does get on the inside of a fighter like Rose, she can be effective, and she can, land big punches to hurt Rose and get her to the ground. I don't know if y'all been looking at Carla's Instagram, but she's been working with a new trainer too as well. Hold on, let me pull it up. Where is she? Let's see, Carla. Hang on 1 second. Carla Esparza has been she's been getting it in, man. She's been working with a new trainer here. They've been working on the striking. Yeah, she out in Zimbabwe, y'all. Like Carla Esparza been out there in Zimbabwe, doing her media thing, and she's trying to get out there. Hold on. Let me see. Let me pull this up. Okay, so what are y'all saying here? If Carla walked in there with shaved head. See, y'all done started something. Now y'all talking about this girl's head. Like, come on now. It was funny. Gordon made it funny because he just hit me off all. He caught me off guard with that. He said, could she be psyched out if she came in there with her head shaved? And I couldn't help picture her head, but y'all keep on about these footballs and Stewie. I'm not talking about that. I ain't even gonna go there. All right, back on topic. So Mary said combo, yes. Carla will also have them hard, juicy punches from her wrestling resistance. Right. Yeah, like Carla was already a better grappler and a better wrestler than Rose. You know what I mean? Like she came into the game with that. That's what people don't realize. Like 7 years ago, she was already levels above Rose. Like I'm giving Rose credit as far as her growth. Like Rose has definitely gotten better. She definitely got better with her striking in some areas of her grappling. But I can't just, I can't be like some of these other Rose fans and just try to ignore everything that Carla's been doing. Like Carla's been grinding. Like Carla's been growing as a fighter. I can't lie and say that Rose's wrestling has caught up with Carla's wrestling because it hasn't. Again, she was a better wrestler than her before 7 years ago, right? And now 7 years have passed. Carla's just gotten better with it. I feel like Carla's gotten better with it. She's gotten stronger. She's tacked on muscle for the better. Like, if you look at her body now, she's looking jacked at times, power behind her punches too. Power behind her punches. How she hurt Zhang. She caught Zhang with a good right hand. She hurt Alexa Grasso. Alexa Grasso was a boxer. Alexa Grasso was supposed to be the boxer in there, right? But Alexa put hands on her. So I think that, yeah, like the more and more you look at what Carla is doing and she's putting together, it is going to be a competitive fight. It's going to be a competitive fight. And I think that, again, people who are so caught up in being a fan of Rose, they automatically think this is going to be an easy fight. It's not going to be an easy fight. It's not going to be that. It's not going to be that. It's not going to be easy. All right, Savage. You got Savage over here. Y'all keep on, man. Come on. Dern and Esparza loser shaves their head. Oh man. Y'all keep on now. Y'all tripping. But anyways, yeah, Carla has a new, I guess it's her new striking coach here. What's his name in Zimbabwe? I mean, she out here hitting mitts, y'all. Themba Garimbo out here in Zimbabwe. I mean, let me see if I can put a picture up here. And that's the thing, like I said, people are going to think that with her developing her striking, she's probably going to try to go blow for blow with Rose, or she's going to try to box with Rose. Nah, she ain't going to do that. Like, she's just developing her hands enough to be able to land big shots and land some good body shots on Rose, Let me see here. Hold on. Okay, let me see if I can pull up a picture here. Yeah. But what else? Like, what else can she do? Like, what else is gonna make this fight interesting? I mean, like, what are you feeling, Mary? Like, you brought it up, so like, what is it else that you see that's gonna be dangerous in Rose Namajunas? I mean, in Carla Esparza. Oh yeah, yeah, I've heard that before. I've heard that before, Jason. I thought that's what it meant, and over in England or whatever, that word thick. I've heard people say that before. They would say, "Are you thick?" I've actually heard that first. Way back. People say, "Are you thick?" And that means that you stupid. Hold on, y'all. I'm pulling something up here again. Yeah. There we go. Yeah, we use thick for a different term here. Okay, so yeah, Carla, I think is going to be a bigger threat than people think now. It's something y'all just gotta accept. It's not going to be an easy fight for Rose. I mean, Rose has come a long way in the past 7 years. No doubt about that. She's come a long way, but you still got to say, look, this girl does have a mental edge over me, and she still does bring a lot to the table. I think that there's just certain type of styles that that Carla can't match up with. I think Carla, she doesn't match up with fighters that are, of course, going to be stronger wrestlers, like Tatiana Suarez, and even Jessica Andrade. Like, that's a fight I still would like to see, Jessica versus Carla. Joanna. Joanna not even really, not a wrestler, but she's just so strong. She's just so strong, man. That's why those type of fighters that can outstrength her can beat her. But if you don't have the strength, Carla's not really going to have a problem with you. You know what I mean? And I don't know if Rose has that type of physical strength yet to match with Carla. Of course, you're going to say that Carla's small and you're going to say she's tiny, but come on. That girl has a lot of strength, in that little body. Gordon said, do you really think Carla beat Claudia? I do. I think she did enough to win that fight. I think she did. Jason Rose said, your Esparza talk is a cure for insomnia. Of course it is. When you're part of this hate train, so it is. So hopefully you fall asleep behind your train and your train derails and it falls off the tracks. How you like that? Hopefully you fall asleep behind your hate train, your Carla hate train, and it falls off the tracks. Just in case you didn't hear me. But yeah, I would like that fight, Carla versus Jessica Andrade. That would have been interesting. But anyways, Carla still has enough physical strength to deal with Rose Namajunas. And I think Rose Namajunas has to get started early like she did against Weili. You got to set that pace. You got to start setting that pace and be tricky with your hands and, kind of feint a little bit. I don't think that Rose will be able to catch Carla like that, though. I don't think Carla Esparza is going to be a sitting duck for a shot on the outside, like that. I think she'll be on the inside before you know it. She does kind of do that little feint sometime, like she's about to run a little bit, like Carla, is on the back foot. But I think the minute she sees or she can make Rose Namajunas pull the trigger, she'll try to catch the leg and she'll try to go in. Carla has good timing. Carla has very, very good timing. And, she's going to be timing that moment to get on the inside. And the thing is, do you think Carla Esparza's, not Carla Esparza, but do you think Rose Namajunas, her striking has gotten to the point where it can just nullify Carla Esparza? I don't know. Can't really say it is. Can't really say it has. Yet. Carla has a good chin. Rose has got power, but Carla might eat a few before it sets in. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. She probably will eat a few shots, but I think she'll have a good enough chin because, Rose isn't really going to be like a punch. She's not going to throw combinations. She's not going to be throwing like high work rate like Joanna did, those fast flurries. So I think Carla will have her moments to get in on the inside, The thing about Rose is, though, when she just sets that pace with that footwork, it's different. Her footwork is not going to be like it was 70 years ago. It's going to be very, very new to Carla. That's why I say this rematch need to happen, man, because it's a totally different fight. It's a different fight than it was before. This ain't the same Rose and this ain't the same Carla, so it's got to happen, Mary said, well, if Joanna could TKO Carla, her striking was supposedly not as dynamic as Rose's. Rose can piece her up a few good times before running out of energy. She'll be using it to dance away from Carla all night. Yeah. She could really do, Rose could really take the Jessica Andrade approach. I mean, the better thing about this fight is she doesn't really have to worry about Carla Esparza landing like a heavy blow like Andrade, or even picking her up. Like, Jessica Andrade, that's what kept Rose on the back foot and honest all night. Like, she was able to land, but there was always that scare. There was always that scare factor. The power punch from Jessica Andrade. The physical strength of picking her up. Like, Carla doesn't really have that type of pick 'em up strength and that type of power. You know what I mean? So that's something where, yeah, Carla, she could get pieced up. She could get jabbed all night by Rose Namajunas, because Rose could just put that boxing skill on her like she did for one round against Andrade. She could do that for however long she needed till she stopped Carla Esparza. So that is a scenario out there that you can kind of play out. That's definitely a possibility. Yeah, she could do that. I could see that. Because she won't have to worry about Carla putting that power slam on her. It's going to be similar. It could be similar to how the Andrade fight went, but without those other elements in there, See, Andrade, like I said, like, when she's getting her hands on you, it's not really about just taking her to the ground and trying to nullify you. It's about breaking you. It's about picking you up and slamming you and knocking you out. There's also the power that you have to watch out for, because she will throw big punches. Carla Esparza, her main thing is to get on the inside and wrestle. To get on the inside and wrestle. Jason Roy, oh yeah, I'm messing with you, man. You said I'm putting you to sleep, so I was like, hey, don't go ahead and fall asleep then. I'm just playing with you, man. I don't want that to happen. I mean, it's a hate train, so Yeah, so that's what makes this thing interesting, y'all. Like, this is going to be an interesting fight. It really will be. If they make this rematch happen, it's time. It's time to happen. Y'all made Carla wait and wait and wait. Don't make her wait again by fighting another contender. I mean, I'm going to do another video, too, where I just kind of break down what I want to see from the strawweight division. Like, the next few fights I want to see in the strawweight division before the end of this year. I'm going to do a video on that. I got 3 fights. The 3 fights I want to see before the end of the year that I think will be good for the strawweight division. Yeah, I'll probably do that tomorrow or something. Let's see. Stammer said about 80 to 90% of Carla's game relies on takedowns. As long as it's not... Oh, yeah, I read that. Okay. You might most likely see Pena stretched out realistically. Nunes going in to stay on her feet. And if she doesn't, I see a nasty ground and pound in the future. Ooh, man. Yeah, like, I forgot about that Nunes Pena fight happened. I said, I felt like Pena deserved to get her title shot because, who else was there? That's fine. I mean, I still see Nunes winning. I mean, yeah, it's Nunes. So, Stamina said, a fighter only needs takedown defense good enough to keep punching her in the face. Carla doesn't handle getting hit very well. Not as well as G-Rob, but still. He said not as well as Jim Robertson. Yeah, with this new striking coach and boxing coach, we'll see if Carla's gonna get rounds in. You know what I mean? Like, maybe Carla needs that type of sparring where she starts getting used to getting hit in the face. Like, yeah, like, she's so used to taking fighters down, and that is the majority of her attack of going for takedowns. She likes to shoot in. And then when she starts getting hit with jabs, she kind of loses her game plan, right? Well, she needs to start sparring like this to develop that, what's the word? Well, not really say immune to it, but more so used to it, where she can still kind of work past it, and work on her head movement so she won't get hit as much. Gordon said, except for the win over Young, Carla's recent wins have been split decisions, including the Claudia bout, Rose wins by Kimura if Carla takes her down. Otherwise by KO. We'll see. I don't know. We'll see. And Carla actually lost the Claudia fight, on paper. She lost it on paper, I feel like she did enough to win. And she did enough to beat Michelle Waterson and Alexa Grasso, right? I mean, they're wins. And she handed Berna Jandiroba her loss, and she was a, solid jiu-jitsu fighter, practitioner. So, Mary said, I got some dream matches as well. Want to see Dern, Carla, JJ versus Jean, Rose, Andrade 3, JJ versus Marina, JJ versus Moreau. Yeah, I would like to see Rose versus Andrade 3. Like, that's just one of those styles I never get tired of. Like, Rose and Andrade, Whaley and Joanna, mixing them up. Letting them mix it up 2 or 3 times, how many every times, I would make them keep fighting, because their style matchups are just, barn burners. You know what I mean? Like Rose and Andrade, that first fight, it was explosive. There was just so much to it. The second fight was crazy. Zhang Weili and Joanna, their first fight. Well, hopefully they'll get a second fight. But, the first time, they got in there last year, it was, crazy, man. Those are 2 I would like to definitely see. I got a few, but, I'll put it up later. I won't say mine yet, but I'll put mine up, probably try to do it tomorrow or something, sometime this weekend. Mr. Lisa, I can't wait. I need many UFC strawweight fights soon. It's like talking about eating Mickey D's in a live chat. I want some now. I want something, but I don't want McDonald's right now. McDonald's is like every 6 months or once a year type thing. Sometimes I'll go on like a binge at McDonald's and maybe eat there for like a week. You know what I mean? It's like I might go there once every other day a week, but then I'll leave it alone for like a year or 2. Shoot, I haven't eaten Burger King like that since like maybe 4 or 5 years ago. I eat fast food though. Yeah, don't get me wrong. There's just certain places I haven't been to in forever though. Jason Rose. Oh, Marcus said, don't remind me of that fight between Carla and Alexa Grasso. That was a good fight, man. Jason said Andrade might have won against Namajunas if the fight was 5 rounds. Yeah, that's what everybody says, if it was 5 rounds, but it wasn't. Rose held on and she won it. But yeah, like if they fight again in this 5-round fight, man, it's gonna be crazy. Carla should have won that Claudia fight. Yeah, Marina and Alexa should have both beat her soundly, but they threw the opportunity in the bin, so here we are. Right. Yeah, they threw it away, so you can't argue that. No. Yeah, TJ. No, TJ, it's June 11th. The Invicta tournament is June 11th. The atomweight tournament. Yeah, I was actually, talking to what's her name? I posted on my Instagram. To support Lindsey Van Zant. Who else is in there? Paulina Granados, Jillian DeCourcy off the top. Those are some of the fighters I know that are in it. Yeah, it's June 11th, TJ. June 11th on Access TV. Atomweight tournament. Yeah, that's going to be good. That's going to be a good one. Yeah. I don't know, though, if they're going to be like other little sidebar fights in there. I don't know if it's just going to be all these 1-round fights. There might be like a couple fights in between of other weight classes. Well, I'm definitely going to be watching that tournament. Shoot, I might, I don't think I'll be able to do a live stream on that day for it, but I'll definitely talk about it. Gordon said Joanna predicted Rose would KO Whaley in round 1. Has she given a prediction for Rose versus Carla? That was luck. That's what she wanted to happen. She said that, and a million other people probably said it. She didn't really break it down. Rose was Joanna was just saying Rose was gonna knock her out because that's what she wanted. She was mad about how the first fight went between her and Whaley. Jason Rose said Taylor Santos is the second best fighter in the flyweight division. Fighters are not signing up for the smoke. Apparently, man, like Jason Rose. I don't know if y'all know, but Jason Rose, Taylor Santos, I think she's had like 14 to 15 cancellations now. If y'all were talking about that earlier, I think she has like 14 or 15 cancellations. TJ said, when's Dale Boney fighting again? Well, she needs to get her rematch with the champion. Even though we feel like she won, right? She needs to get her rematch with the champion first. Mary said, I'm dying to see another 5-rounder between Andrade Rose. That rematch was real. Close. Jessica was catching up real bad. Yeah, I didn't know, like, man, like, even like, let's go back and look at Whaley and Joanna. I didn't know that fight was going to be the way it was. You know, that was a crazy fight. But yeah, Rose and Andrade, like, they could fight 6-7 times and I would still watch that fight. Joanna versus Jessica Andrade was a good fight, though. I mean, Joanna just pieced her up for 5 rounds, but that was a good fight. You know, Jessica got her licks in that fight, I think, you know, because she put a little knot on Joanna's head. But Joanna versus Jessica Andrade was a good fight. That was a classic strawweight matchup. I don't know. What are my top 5 strawweight fights? Damn. Gordon said, I didn't know you were also a mind reader. I am. I always know that you're going to say something crazy. Or you're going to try to say something crazy. Robot Chickens, of course she say that. Joanna couldn't do it. Mary Thomas, that rematch would have been another 5 rounds if Jessica waited for Rose instead of fighting Whaley. Rose has fought 3 fighters twice now. Tisha, JJ, Andrade. Yeah, she has, man. Like, I still feel like Tisha won both of her fights, though. Like, Tisha was the only fighter I think had the key to beat Rose. You know, of course, the first time they were younger, but the second time I think Tisha did enough to win. I gave Tisha 2 of them rounds. You know, I thought Tisha did enough to win against Rose. Tisha is tough. Y'all, you know, people don't give Tisha enough credit. Like, Tisha went to war with, I won't say like full on war with Andrade, but she stayed in the fight. You know, Tisha versus Jessica Andrade, like, Tisha stayed in the fight. Like, I think she could have won it if she used her speed and her boxing more, but she wanted to wrestle, and she wrestled with her. But Tisha never really got, like, damaged in the Andrade fight. You know, that's what people forget. Like, that was a good fight. Tisha Torres versus Jessica Andrade. You go back and watch that. Like, Tisha showed her level of, like, toughness, but it also kind of showed her lack of IQ in that fight. Because I picked Tisha to beat Andrade because I thought she was going to outstrike her and use her strength when need be. But no, like, Tisha fought the wrong fight and tried to wrestle with Andrade, and that was a mistake. But yeah, it was a good fight. Hold on. There goes a connection. Let's see here. Oh, we're back. There we go. All right. Damn. What is going on with you? Okay. There we go. Stop playing with me there. Gordon said you don't think Joanna knew the capabilities of Zhang and Rose. They fought them to know enough. Maybe it's you that's hating. See, I told you he likes to talk crazy. I'm not hating. I'm not hating. Yeah, she knows the capabilities, but nobody can just say, "Oh, this person's going to get knocked out in one round," and be 100% sure. Like that's what everybody says when something happens. They're going to say, "Oh, I told you that she would knock her out that quick." She probably she probably said that about several other people. Shoot, Valentina gave some picks too, and they were wrong. So hey, I hear fighters talk crazy all the time, man. You just because you know the capabilities don't mean you actually know what's gonna actually happen in the fight. You never know what's actually how it's gonna actually play out, especially with a knockout. Come on. See, I'll tell you a fight that I put a little something on, and I knew for sure. I knew for sure. Hold on, fixing it. Okay, there we go. I knew for sure, and I ain't no mind reader. I don't have to be, but I knew that Holly Holm would beat Ronda Rousey. I was confident in that pick. I put something on that. Okay, that was a fight I was for sure shot. I was like, yes, Holly Holm is gonna beat Ronda Rousey. She gonna stop her. Now that one I was for sure about TJ. That's why I said when it came to Whaley versus Rose, that was 50-50. That's why I couldn't put nothing on that. And Joanna saying first round knockout. She's just making a quick prediction. She's just calling it like that. But like I said, if you break down two fighters and look at their styles, like when I looked at Holly and Ronda, I was like, oh yeah. I was like, yeah, let me go ahead and put it on this because Holly Holm is going to win this fight. She's going to win it easy. And that's like maybe, like one of the few times you could say I'm close to 100% sure. Like, I don't know what it was, but it was just something about those two styles and the capabilities of both fighters. Like I said, Ronda won't be able to handle what Holly Holm is going to bring in this fight, and she couldn't. And yeah, fighters do that all the time. Like fighters, they'll pick off of saltiness sometimes. They'll pick off of saltiness. Sometimes they're not actually just analyzing like we do. They don't have time to. I might sit down and watch fights, and then I can tell you like this might happen. This might happen, whether or not they've been in the octagon or not with the person. You presume that Joanna was just guessing because she wanted Rose to win. Why would she? If Zhang won it, it would have made Joanna look good. Maybe. Mm. It would have made Joanna look good. What, that she lost to her too? Or just because she went 5 rounds with her? She still lost. May look, figuratively speaking, I mean, won't make her look good because, Zhang Weili didn't make her look good in that fight. Robot Chicken said that's why she said that. Oh, okay. But yeah, man, we've been on here for a minute. And yeah, I do want to see this Carla. I do want to see this Carla and Rose fight. Talked about a bunch of stuff just now, so let me close this thing out. Okay, there we go. Tisha Torres, 2 Joanna Namajunas fights plus Joanna Rodriguez, Andrade, Murderers Row. People need to stop with that. Would have made X look good talk. I definitely think it's silly in this concept because it's like it's not really gonna make Joanna look good. Like Joanna lost. That's just gonna say that Zhang Wei Li would have beat both of them. You know what I mean? Like that means she just beat both. Styles make fights. Joanna is more so durable, so she was able to go 5 rounds. Let's say if Zhang Wei Li knocked out Rose, then I would have been like, well, Rose ain't built like Joanna. You know what I mean? So it can't really be one of those situations with that one because, Joanna lost to both of them in reality. Gordon said Joanna had every reason to want Wei Li to win for the rematch opportunity. At this point, I don't really think she cared because if she was going to hold down her spot, it could be either one. It would be either one. If, in all honesty, even though Joanna lost 2 times to Rose, you would think she would want to fight her again, maybe, because, come on, 3rd time's a charm. You should be able to figure her out now. You've been in there, so you should be able to beat her this time around. At this point, you should have figured her out. See, if you go into the Zhang Wei Li fight, you might go in there worried about losing on the cards again if you make it a close fight with such a tough girl that can withstand your punches, I think either way, whoever the winner was, she doesn't care, Rose would and can make a good champion, but she don't look like she'll be punctual with the schedule for the bouts. Quickest I've ever seen Rose fight again was when she rematched JJ 3 to 4 months later. I don't even think that was 3 to 4 months. I thought that was 6. I thought she waited 6 months. Mary, hold on. If I remember correctly, because the first one was like August of 2017. I'm just October of 2017. I'm just doing it off top. Hold on, let me look it up. Okay. November, yeah. First time Rose fought was, Joanna. Fought Joanna November 2017. Yeah, okay, yeah. Then she fought her in April 2018. So, yeah, that's a pretty quick turnaround for her, right? About 5 months. And then she took over, a little over a year off and lost it to Jessica Andrade because of the neck surgery, I think. Neck problem. Then, after that loss to Jessica Andrade, she fought Jessica Andrade almost over a year again, right? Then after beating Jessica Andrade in close decision, she comes back in April, 9 months later. So, yeah, there was pretty far inactivity in between there. Joanna don't want to rematch unless it's with the holder of the belt. Right. Yeah, that's the point. Like, whoever has the belt, that's who she's going to want. All right, TJ. So he's out. He's got to run again. Okay. TJ, if I'm Joanna, I'd rather fight Rose than that girl that made me look like a dwarf. Yeah. Gordon said, come on, Rose ain't giving Joanna a trilogy. If Wei Li won, Joanna would be rematching her next because her fight was a split decision. She would give her a rematch. She would have to. If she was in lineup, she would. I know she's 0-2, but she would. Why do you think she says, I don't care who would win the belt, right? And that what we were just talking about? She would fight either one of them. She still... Why do you think she was tweeting all night? She said she would fight either one. Like, she was tweeting on fight night. She said, let's see who will have the belt, because whoever it is, Joanna wanted to fight him. It didn't matter who it was. And Rose would probably have to fight her again, even if it was a 3rd time. If she's still holding the spot down, she would have to fight her. I know that the Wei Li Joanna fight would be better because it would be a second time. It would just be a second fight, right? And it was fight of the year. Fight of the WMMA history. Yeah, like already talked about that here before. Yeah, she does have her number, I think, too. Yeah, yeah. Mary JJ would have better chance at beating Zhang because Zhang has different defense and is a phone booth fighter, so she's easier to hit. Rose dance around stuck and move harder to hit. And then that midpoint of the fight, it got close though. Joanna, when Rose started to slow down, Joanna started landing. Like Joanna did start landing some big leg kicks, and she started like ripping Rose's lead leg up. So, it's hard to say full on that she has a number. Maybe she's got it more so psychologically and mentally at this point, and somewhat stylistically. But you never know what's going to happen because sometimes Rose, she'll be in the pocket, and if Joanna can make adjustments to really, really start letting her combinations go on the inside and start ripping her, she could build a lead on rounds. That's why that fight was a bit close. The rematch did get a little bit tight towards the round 3, 4, 5 and on. It got a little close because Joanna started, ripping her lead leg and started landing clean punches. Yeah, I saw that. Joanna said she would be interested in a Esparza fight. I was talking about that earlier, Jason. Yeah. But I was like, they don't need that fight to happen. Yeah, the winner holds the cards. Swaley would be compelled to rematch Joanna Rosewood. Yeah, you never know though. She wouldn't be compelled, but I think Rose would have to though if you hold that belt. But yeah, man, I'm about to get up out here. Dang, been about 2 hours, right? So it is time to roll. Thanks for everybody coming through in the chat. Quite a few people in here today. Definitely talking about some good, good topics. Interesting stuff going on in WMMA. I think at this point, I just need to see a full-on featherweight division, like going back up. Like we just need a straight-up featherweight division. There's no need to continue to kind of hold this thing up, like, and continue to say, oh man, we need one girl here, one girl there, one bantamweight. There's a lot of girls to sign. There's a lot of girls that want to fight and that want to fight at 145. That's a good weight. So we need to see that happen. Yeah, Joanna, like I said, hopefully she comes back sometime in 2021. But if she don't come back in like November or December, I think that we might see her get cut out of the rankings, man, because that's going to be 2 years. That's going to be 2 years since she's last fought. If she don't come back by the end of this year, it'll be going on 2 years, and you can't just stay in the division for 2 years, right? Yeah, I still got Manon Fiorot. That's not changed, and I got Montana winning. Mr. Lee said McDonald's delivers. Yeah, they do. They do. I haven't never ordered, but I heard they do. Mia Mary said, oh yeah, Joanna threw in them leg kicks and slowed Rose down in the third round. And then Rose took JJ down to fifth. Yeah, that's what really bagged the round for it. That was a good fight. That second fight was good. I think I'm going to go back and watch that tonight. Yeah, Rose Joanna 2, that was a good fight. I think that Rose made a good choice to take her down because I think she probably would have lost. I think it was either the fourth or fifth round where seemed like it started to tie up or she was down. But when she got that takedown, it really solidified the round because, yeah, like Rose's lead leg was ripped. It was red. She was in the pocket eating shots. Rose had some swelling. Both Joanna was taking big punches. So it was a good fight, though. That was a good fight. I was surprised it went 5, I was surprised. Then again, I wasn't. Because Joanna does have that durability to land, and if Rose didn't land that one shot, and she wasn't as accurate, then Joanna's gonna be in there because she's tough. Let's see. Gordon said somebody thinking if Joanna picks Rose over Carla, it's because she'd rather fight Rose than Carla. That's a different situation. I mean, we're not even talking about that fight. I don't even know. I didn't even know you were still talking about that. We talking about something else. Gordon. Joanna will smoke Carla every time. Hang on, just closing some stuff out here before I shut down for the night. Okay. Let's all hit Mary's caption. Cash app and get her fat. Crazy. Yeah. But yeah, I might have to watch that fight tonight though. I'm gonna watch this LFA. This LFA card tonight that's going on. Oh yeah, what's her name is on this card? Cobra Kai Bennett is fighting tonight. Cobra Kai Bennett is fighting tonight. Let me see. LFA 107. Let me check that out, y'all. Oh, nobody. Nobody, Mary. He's just doing a what if scenario over here. He's talking about if Joanna picks Carla, that means because she'd rather fight Carla than Rose and Carla. Like, nobody's even saying that. Like, he talking about he making up a scenario over here. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, yeah. Okay, I'm about to get up out of here now. I was just looking at something. What is her name? Cobra Kai Bennett. She's supposed to be fighting tonight. Yeah, man. But anyways, y'all, we'll be back on Sunday because I'm gonna be busy tomorrow. I'm gonna be out tomorrow, so and I'm gonna be watching this UFC card tomorrow. If y'all are gonna be watching the fights tomorrow, the prelims start at 4 p.m. Eastern time. They start early. The fights start early, so yeah, got to check them out. Yeah, catch you later, Jason. And Gordon must be high. Gordon must be high. Yeah. Thanks, Jason. We'll be back on. You said you said you want to pick Rose over Whaley because she'd rather fight Rose than Whaley. Yeah, for that scenario. And I also said that that's a different scenario, but I also said that for this scenario, she said she'll fight either one of them. Okay. Yeah, I can't find it right now. I know it's on now. LFA is on. All right. Oh, he out there. Yes. Okay, you in Mexico. Okay, well, enjoy your time in Mexico, Stamina. Be safe out there. But yeah, guys, we'll be back on probably be back on Sunday night. Like I said, Sunday 7 p.m. Sunday at 7 p.m. we'll be on to talk about the fights, the post fights. We'll talk about that. And whatever else comes up, y'all want to talk about on Sunday, we'll talk about. And damn, bare knuckle box tonight too. Damn, I might check out some of this stuff. But yeah, guys, thanks for coming through. You know, everybody in the chat. You know, and new people coming in. Just make sure y'all subscribe, and we'll be back on. I will see y'all later. And yeah, Combo Breaker 99. I am out. Subscribe. Peace.